Welcome back once again to Mothlike TV. This is a 9-ball challenge. It's a race to 7 World 9-ball Tour rules in effect between Ken Lautner and myself, Mike Holt. I've won the lag and I'm braking. So the 9's on the spot and I'm braking from within the brake box. Now there's a little bit of a safety interlude at that juncture. So this was the next opportunity. And it's Ken comboing in the 4-ball, leaving himself on the 2. And a little draw to give an angle on the 3 here. He's going to try and get all the way around for the 5, which I think goes in the left side pocket. So a bit of draw on left side here. Maybe a little too hard, just got to squeeze behind the 9. And a bit unfortunate there. Just playing a tactical shot to try and tie up the 6, 7. And I'm just trying to hook here, but I didn't get the cue ball tight on that 8, so I've left an easy opener for Ken, but he's got to try and disturb the 7 if he wants to get on that 6 ball. So, quite a bit of fizz on going on this cue ball. And that little loop with the top spin caused him to come inside the 7, so unable to get his shape. No, probably just play a safe here, I would have thought. Yeah, just trying to hold the cue ball there. Done quite nicely. Got me behind the 7 and the 8. So I'm just kicking at this one rail. I did not want the double kiss. So it's left a relatively straightforward 6 ball, follow forward. Try and get on the 7 in the bottom right pocket. And doesn't really want to be straight. Yeah, I think you can just play here. Should I do one rail? Try and get the 8 in the side, or maybe follow forward and get the 8 in the bottom left. Yeah, just one rail. He's trying to come all the way up for the 8 in the bottom left corner there, but you have to put it in the side. Oh, and that's a great shot coming around for the unmissable 9. So he's going to take the first rack of this race to 7. And what we're now experimenting with, that first frame actually took quite a while, so we've now instituted a 30-second shot clock here. I've downloaded an app, which is strangely enough called Shot Clock. And we get 60 seconds after the break, or if you push out. And you get one 30-second extension per rack. So very similar to what you may be used to watching on TV. And successful break there, making the 1. And so he's got the jump stick out and he's going to try and jump to make this 2 and go for the run out. And that's a great shot. Using the dart method there. Finished nicely on the 3. The 4 is waiting right over the pocket, so whenever a ball's so deep in the jaws of a pocket, it's kind of hard to judge the path of the cue ball, so you will have to play a good shot here to get from the 4 to the 5, which doesn't go in the bottom left, of course, because of the 8 ball. So he's going to have to try and get on that same side as the 8. He wants to be able to make the 5. And I think only a safe here. I mean, you could try drawing off the 5 to make the 8. But I think a safety is the order of the day. Well, he did try and make the 8, as you saw. Wasn't far off. I think I may have just covered the edge zone out of the way. I'm cueing with a flat cue. Looks as though I can get through. But indeed, so. A little bit awkward for the 6 though. Could try and cut this in, but it's mighty fine. You've got to watch that right side pocket. Well, I may have given him an opportunity. It's very thin. And you'd have to try and steer the cue ball all the way around the table, I think. You try and get on the 7. He could, of course, play a bank in the right corner, but he's tried to play a safe there, but he's actually, I believe, left the 6. It is available. I'm going to be clattering into the 8 ball, so I need a bit of luck. I'm going to finish on the 7. But that's pretty good. I can now play the 7 onto the 9 for the win. And this will tie up the match at 1 each. Let's check in the line. Fortunately, the 9 is pretty close to the pocket, but you still got to catch it on the right point. You want to make this. And there we go. So 1 each, and I'm breaking here in rack 3. Once again, didn't quite get the break as I wanted it, but I was fortunate. A couple of balls went down, including the 1. So there's a chance to try and put this 2 past the 5. And then we'll be going down towards the 3. I'll probably end up colliding with the 3 or the 4, depending on how thin I actually end up hitting this. It's thinner than it looks, that's for sure, if you want to try and cut that in. Jacking up a little bit. Yeah, caught that way too thick. And looks like it's got to come down and dress up. Can. And the 9's close to the corner, so there's a chance for a 3-9 or even a 4-9 combo. Interested to see how he plays this. Oh, well, rail first to try and get some action with the cue ball, trying to get the cue ball back down the table, but he's collided with the 5, so his only attacking option here, I think, is to try and just pot the 3 ball cleanly past the 7. The bottom left corner. He's jacked up a little, trying to stun it. And that's a beautiful strike. Very clean. Just lost the cue ball a little. He wanted it to carry on a bit further. I think he would have had the 4-9 combo. He can still play the 9 here as a carom shot or a billiard. In the UK would call that a cannon. Cannoning the cue ball onto the 9. Oh, and that was it. That was for the win. Just slightly off. So I can try and cut this 4 in and guide the cue ball back down and maybe knock the 9 in with the cue ball. If I can make the pot, at least I'll get a shot on the 5. Oh, but I've left it in the jaws. Oh, there's nowhere near the 9, so Ken really would, you'd think he'd just pot the 4 here and get anywhere on the right side of the table. And he can just play the 5-9 combo. But once again, tricky when the ball's right in the jaws of the pocket. He's gone rail first and he's lost the cue ball again. So where he's finished, it's going to be real tough for him to try and make the 9. Especially now he's right on the rail. He could have tried to do some sort of a draw shot off that 5. But now I think he's got to maybe try and come 2 rails off the 5 twice across and see if he can make the 9 that way. I think that's what he was trying, but he's going to leave me a chance here. I'm pointing in the right direction. And just need to find the point on that 5 that sends it down to the left side of the 9 ball. You don't want to be hitting that 9 on the right. Might not go in, but anywhere on the left, you're good. Looks good. So that's 2-1 now. I've got the break here, rack 4. Let's see if I can get this cut break going. Trying to draw off this 1 ball and get the 1 in the right center pocket. And there we go. First time I've made that one. Unfortunately, however, the 2 has just stuck itself to the bottom rail and I'm a big distance away from it there. So all I can really do here, I think, is play it safe. There's a big wall of balls, 6, 5, and 9. You can easily try and hide the cue ball behind those. So just banking the 2 down the table. And that little kiss on the 8 has helped me out. I think I've got the cover. So 1 rail kick. Looks to be the order of play. Maybe try and get it in the top left and catch it right. No chance now. Can try and play this with a bit of top and right English, but avoid the 7 in the top half of the table and then come down and try and find the gap past that 8 ball. But I'm going to stand behind the 8. I just was able to nudge it far enough. So I don't think I can pot this with the 8 being where it is, but it's a pretty straightforward hook again. I can just bank the 3 down table, get the cue ball off the end rail and in behind that wall of balls. A little bit of left English helping it along its way. So I think this time he's going for the short stick. He's fairly close to the pocket, so if you can get the center of the cue ball, don't apply any left or right spin, it should run true. And that is a phenomenal shot. An excellent pot jump there from Ken. And he's got a pretty straight 4 ball. Be tough to try and stun it off the long rail and out. You could draw back maybe for the 5 in the... Actually, you draw back for the 5-9 combo. That's what you do. He's rattled the 4. And he had the combo waiting. That would have been for the game. So this is thin, but it's cuttable for sure. I'm putting a lot of left English on it. I don't know if I can hold the cue ball on the left side of the table. No, as you see there, I couldn't. And I've come all the way down, finish behind the 8. So now I've got to kick and try and hit the top side of the 5 so I can still make the 9 in this bottom right. Well, that's a bit fortunate. I didn't play it off the 6, but hey, I got it moving in the right direction. And that's the name of the game. So it's now 3-1. I've got the break here, rack 5. So made the 1 last time. Want to try and make it in the same pocket, see if I can get the 2 moving a bit better. Here we go. Well, that's finished beautifully. 1's gone in and the 2's dressed up just right. I think the 3 will pass between the 4 and the 8, but just slowly with a bit of right English. And then you can just stop this in. You're going to have a nice angle on the 4 to come 2 rails down for the 5, the bottom left. Oh, I've gone a bit straight, haven't I? Yeah, I didn't want to do that. So, drawing back. Quite a powerful shot. And guess what? I've gone all the way below the, the 7 and hooked myself again. This time, I'm probably going to play past the 6 with a bit of right English. And try and get that 9 ball moving once again. Although this time I think the 7 does block the path to the corner. Well, it's pretty fine on the 5. I think the kid did the 5 first, but the scratch gives a ball in hand to Ken. He's got a chance now to get a win on the board for himself and to stop the rock before I can get too far ahead. Pretty straightforward. Just run these 5 balls out. Probably play off the short rail. A little centre ball stun. It's just gone above the pocket line. And you could play this any number of ways. Another stun. You seem to have a little bit of right English on it. Yeah, that's pretty good. Just off straight. So I probably come round 2 rails for the right English. You could, of course, just follow forward with a bit of left to try and just play off 1 rail. And that's what he's done. And it would have been very unlucky not to finish on the 9 there. And he could have glued to it, but he's finished just nice. Little kiss there. Leaves a straightforward 9 in the left side. So this is going to be 2-3 now. Ken trails, and he has the break in rack 6. How's his cut break doing? Yeah, the one was well short of the pocket there. That was a bit like my first two efforts. So it looks like I'll probably be pushing out. Actually, I think I'm playing to hit it. No, but the double kiss caused me to scratch. So a bit of an unforced error. Ken now looking to see where he wants to be on 3 when he gets that far, to avoid the traffic and get back up the table for the 4 ball. I would probably play the 1 in the left side, simply because a slow roll forward is always easier to control the cue ball. You can get a good speed control there. Just gone past the pocket line, so he'll be traveling to the right of the table, leave himself a cut on that 3. We can avoid the local balls, the traffic of that 7 and the 5. I think if he puts a little right English on this, should be okay. But that path will take him over towards the 9, 8 and 6. Yeah, and steering the cue ball caused him to miss the pocket with the 3. And I think the only way to avoid hitting the 5 is if you play a bit of a draw shot. You will be going over towards the 8 with the cue ball. Yeah, caught that all too thin. I'm quite fortunate to have left it there. Could easily have set him up. First real lucky roll. So there's potential. Just drop that in. You put it on the far jaw, so this is a nice opener now. I'll play with top and right, off the rail, approach to 4. And then, once again, a little bit of right. This is just to swing it round off 2 rails towards the center of the table. I'm gonna kiss the 8. And if I'm straight enough, I could just do a stop shot. A little drawback gets me a bit closer to the 6. And then you've got to play 2 rails for the 7. My smooth stroke. Yeah, and that wasn't quite so smooth. Got a little bit too much draw on the ball. Wanted to play both long rails and come across, but once again a little fortunate roll. The 6 has gone pretty safe. Considering I missed the pot, it could have gone anywhere. So he's going to attack here, or is it going to be a defense? Yeah, he's trying to hide the cue ball behind this 9. Well, almost got there. I've got the edge. I think I could play across corner bank. Lots of right English. Get the cue ball out of the way. Yeah, I could have done with hitting that a wee bit harder. Fortunately, I've got the cue ball behind the 9, so I've made cover. Once again, it's kind of fortunate because that 6 is sitting there almost over the hole. If I hadn't got cover there, it was a nice chance for Ken. So he's already made one nice jump shot, pocket length of the table. Can you do another? And the answer is no. He's collided with the 9 on the way forward. And this ball in hand is a real easy finish. Just stay slightly to the left of the pocket line on the 8. And then the natural path takes the cue ball over towards the 9. Just play a little draw shot here. Don't have to get too close to it. The 9's close to the hole. So this is for a 4-2 lead. It'll give me back the break in rack 7. in this race to 7 racks challenge match. Cut break, 1 in the side pocket. There we go. Where's the 2 going to finish? Oh, it's a golden break. There goes the 9. Let's see that once again. So you see all the spin. The cue ball checks back off the side rail, hits the 9 from the underside, makes it in the side pocket. 5-2 now with the break. Once again, how's the cut break going? 1 in the side. Straight in. This time, no movement on the 9. But I'm looking at the table. Fancy a long bank 2 in the top right corner. Draw the cue ball. Get it above the 3. That 3-9 is a combo. There we go. 2's all the way in. I want it to be straight in behind that 3. I'm just checking out the line I need to be. Hit it about there. That'll knock the 9 in. There we go. We're on a roll. 6-2. Now here's that break. See the bank shot coming up. Clean in there. Drew the cue ball above the 3. And then beautiful combo for the win. So that's put me on the hill. Gonna finish the match off here. Let's get this cut break in one more time. Well, it's just gone to the far jaw, but another ball dropped. So I have an opportunity. Easy shot on the 1, can follow forward for the 2. Don't get straight, that's the one thing I would say. Looks like it was the 8 ball that dropped. And you want a little angle on that too, so you can easily come back down the table. Yeah, it's a little flatter than ideal. I think I'm going to stun this with right English. On 2 rails, just got to avoid the snooker behind the 4 ball. No, kind of overhit that a little. Still a shot available. Choice of 2 pockets. I can go in the bottom right or the right center. They're both thin. I'm preferring the center pocket, I think. Now jack up a little bit, get a bit of backspin on this. And if I put a bit of right, it'll act as check side when it hits that short rail, and should check the cue ball at the center of the table for the 4. Yeah, that's looking good. May just draw back here, not touch a rail, and I'll leave myself the 5 in the top left. Now, smooth stroke required here. On 2 rails. Last time I played one like this, I'd put too much draw on it. So it's a stun with a bit of left. Where's that cue ball going? Oh, and that's a mighty nice roll, considering that was a bad miss. That was a really easy finish there, run out, could have done the break and run. But just rattled the 5, and again had a little bit too much backspin on, so Ken's in a tricky spot here. He's doing some sort of a masse, trying to get around that 6. Oh, and he got too much swerve on it. And so this finish, these 4 balls for the win, would be 7-2. But just a little drawback. Don't finish straight on the 6. Stay above that pocket line, so you can just play 1 rail for the 7. And then really, you just want to get up above the head spot there. That's where you rack the balls. That'll be a good location. Don't try and get too close to it, because if you do, you could go behind the 9, which is what I've done. Yeah, that was the worst thing that could happen, really. There's only one obstacle, and you found a way to get behind it. So there's a lesson there. So just going to try and kick this from below. And get the balls moving and get a bit lucky. So they're all moving. Where are they going to stop? Where are they going to stop? Oh my goodness. Such a good roll. Ken's got to be wondering what he's got to do here. Yeah, sometimes you get the rolls, sometimes you don't. The secret is to make the most of them when you get them, because you can bet your bottom dollar they'll be rolling against you again soon. So all he can try and do is kick this one rail and get lucky himself. But he's given up ball in hand, and now it'll be a straightforward follow shot, maybe a bit of right English, just so that cue ball will bounce a bit closer to the 9. So this is it. These 2 balls for a 7-2 win in this WNT 9-ball challenge between myself and Ken. And once again, thank you very much for tuning in. We appreciate it. Please subscribe and share this channel with anyone who you know likes billiards. See you back here, Mothlike TV, real soon.